former baseball player turned golfer, having issues with club face control and even catching the shanks back down at impact. So we'll go over a couple potential solutions for you here. Overall, starting with your setup, it's not too bad for your height. Remember to stay tall in the upper back to prevent from slouching over too much and improving your turns. But using the shaft as the primary path line, it's funny to watch the club draw back upside the line in the takeaway. Looks like you're checking the club face angle, make sure it's pointed down to the ground, so nice job there. As you continue, you'll look back down at the ball, and the rotation of your lower body already stops at this point. So that's going to limit how much shoulder turn you get, and that's going to force your hands and wrists in a vertical position too high. Once you are stuck there at the top, your first move down is with the upper body leaning and diving into impact, and that club is staying well over the top of its path line. Notice how it cuts through the position you've drawn it back on. So you're on a singular plane, in theory, not exactly, but in the essence of it, your upright takeaway led to an upright downswing. So you can afford a more inside backswing with body turn to get the club more behind you, and maybe you won't lean into it on the way down with your upper body. But your main issue is coming up with that variance in club face angle. So from 40 degrees to 78, 77, that's about 37 degrees open moments before you're about to hit the ball. So what's going to happen from here is you either have to release it, or you're going to hold on to your lag and strike it with that open face. Here we expose your grip being in its weak position, which we'll get back to, but I just want to see your impact, and here it is. You've done everything you can to hold on to your lag and wrist angles to a point where many people would pay you to get their wrist into this position at impact. The issue with you doing it is you are holding that face open, which leads to the shanks, leads to the top shots, and leads to disaster. Only after impact do you begin to release the club and close it up, but too little too late, and you're jammed up through the finish. So looking back to your setup here, I know I rambled on the other side view, but before you do anything, you need a stronger grip. And that essentially is taking both hands and rotating them more behind the club. You've already got that face a little shut, so I guess you're stronger relative to a square face from the setup, but lie that face down square and flat from the setup, but put your hands in this position here. So plenty of content to figure out the strong grip, but that's going to change a ton of things as you move through the swing. Other pieces about your body mechanics are fine. There's not a whole ton of motion going on, so I do believe if you can check your grip from this side view, and then more of the analysis is about how you can turn your hips and get that club to end up a little bit more flat and behind you. The wrist angle change could very well take that club and shallow it out as well, and it should have a more closed face bias, so there's a lot of potential changes. You may end up having to learn how to release the club much sooner and look to hit a lot more pulled shots. Your path might still be steep, but if you can take a first step with a strong grip and close the face to hit more pulls, you'll be headed in the right direction. Good luck. Sendaswing.com.